And your essential question will be, how can I use radius and diameter to solve circle problems? Alright, so example 2 on page 698. You're given a circle. And it's circle Q. That's a U down there, isn't it? And you are told that QV equals 8. QV, what does that represent in this circle? That dimension right there. Good, that's the radius. And you are asked to find the diameter of circle Q. So you need the diameter of circle Q. So if this radius is 8, what's the diameter? 16, good. Alright, diameter. And while we're at it, let's just find the circumference. Okay, circumference is equal to 2 times pi times the radius. Or circumference is also equal to pi times the diameter. So if you know the diameter or the radius here, then your circumference is equal to 16 pi. Now, when you're doing these problems, please answer the question in terms of pi first, because on your quizzes sometimes it will ask for the circumference or the area in terms of pi. And when they word the question that way, in terms of pi means that the pi symbol is in your final answer. Alright, so 16 pi means 16 times pi, and then in your calculator do 16 times, use the pi button and hit equals, and I got 50.27. Okay, so 16 was the diameter, 50.27 was the circumference. Any questions there? Question 2a said, if TU equals 14, T to U equals 14, what is the radius? So what's the radius if T to U is 14? Radius is 7, good. And 2b asked you, if QT is 11, Q to T equals 11, what is QU? Q to U equal 2. Q, yeah, they're the same, right? If Q is at the center of the circle and QT is 11, then Q to U is also 11. Because what are they both called? What are the dimensions called? Radius, very good, the radius. Alright, there's a definition there on right below that example that you need in your notes. It says concentric circles. You need to understand what concentric circles are. They are coplanar. And they have the same center. Alright, concentric circles are coplanar and they have the same center. So if you got a circle, not a very good one, right here, these two circles if they were more circular in shape, they would be concentric. They don't intersect. Okay? They don't intersect. Same center. Coplanar and have the same center. Example 3 on the top of page 699. Alright, you're given those two overlapping circles. I think these overlapping circle problems are easier to do without drawing the circles. Here's what I mean. I just draw this segment and treat it like a number line. And on that segment we got R, we got point C, point D, and point S. Now, based on the picture and the information given, the diameter of S is 30. Well, circle S intersects with point C. So if circle S has a diameter of 30, how far is it from S to C? 15. Because S to C represents the radius of that circle. The diameter of circle R is 20. If the diameter of R is 20 and point D is on circle R, then R to D would be equal to 10. They also tell you that D to S is equal to 9. And you have to find CD and then RC. So look, if C to D is 15 and D to S is equal to 9, then how far is it from C to D? Yeah, that's the 15 minus 9, right? 15 minus 9, which equals 6. If R to D is equal to 10, and this C to D is equal to 6, how far is it from R to C? Yeah, it's the 10 minus the 6. That's 4. Everybody alright with those? Alright. Yes, sir?
Where is the very center of these circles? I guess you could say the points.
The center of circle S is right here.
Okay.
The center of circle R was right here. I got that by looking at the drawing in the book. You don't have your book open? Okay, yeah. It'll make more sense if you look at the top of page 699. Alright, circumference. Circumference of a circle is equal to 2 times pi times the radius, or there's two definitions for circumference: 2 times pi times the radius, or pi times the diameter. You can use either formula. You'll get the same answer. Circumference divided by diameter is equal to pi. Alright, circumference divided by diameter is equal to pi. So there's a couple practice problems right there for you to do. Example 4a asks you to find the circumference of each circle. Well, 4a tells you that the radius is equal to 2.5. They ask you to find the circumference. Well, just circumference equals 2 times pi times the radius. So circumference equals 2 times pi times 2.5. Alright, so the circumference of a circle with radius 2.5 would be equal to 5 pi. And 5 pi is equal to, that's 5 times pi button in your calculator. 15.71. Example 5. Ask you to find the diameter of a circle with circumference equal to 106.4. Ask you to find the diameter and radius. Sorry. Diameter and radius with a circumference equal to 106.4. So what you do is you take your circumference formula. Circumference equals 2 times pi times the radius. And where the c is in the formula, you replace it with a 106.4. So you write a new equation, 106.4 equals 2 times pi times the radius. Now you can solve for the radius by dividing both sides by 2 pi. These 2 pi on the right side will cancel. Now you just have to be careful here. When you divide 106.4 by 2 times pi, you put it in parentheses. Okay, and you got parentheses right above the 8 and the 9 on your calculator. So in your calculator, you type 106.4 divided by left parenthesis, then you push 2 times pi button, right parenthesis, and you hit equals. And you should get 16.93 in your calculator. So 16.93 is the radius. The question asked for the radius and the diameter. So we're going to take this 1693 that's sitting on your screen and push times 2. 3387. That's your diameter. This is real important. Okay? Real important. Any questions till now? Alright, so let's take a look at this problem. Find the circumference and you've got this picture. And in this triangle, you got a side length of 8 and a side length of 12. Alright, do you see the hypotenuse of this right triangle? This segment right here. What does that segment represent in this circle? It's the diameter, isn't it? And it's the hypotenuse of a right triangle. So if we call this segment the diameter, doesn't 12 squared plus 8 squared equal the diameter squared? Pythagorean theorem for a right triangle to find the hypotenuse. So take your calculator. Does anybody, you got your calculator? Take 12x squared, push plus 8x squared, and hit equals. Does it say 208? Alright, now just push the square root button. So 14.42 equals your diameter. Now, if circumference equals pi times diameter, the diameter is still sitting on your calculator, isn't it? So this circumference is going to be 14.42 pi. And now, with this number sitting on your calculator, push times the pi button and hit equals. And your screen should say 45.31. So there is your circumference, using the Pythagorean theorem to find the diameter. Texting about it, so important. Texting about it, that's good. That's good. All right, so does anybody have any questions on anything we've done today? All right, your assignment for today is, it's right here.